for us all to come and connect and really celebrate all that's happening and the work that's taking place across the sector, but also for us to hone in and listen to the challenges that you're all experiencing and explore these through our yearly curated themes. This year's theme is New Horizons, and to tell us more, we're going to be hearing from the CEO of London Arts and Health, Anna Wolf. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you. I am going to just do this. Oh, we're both here now. I'll just take yours. So thanks so much, Kayla. That was a really, really lovely introduction. And yeah, welcome everybody. Good morning. I hope everyone's feeling okay. Everyone can hear me and see the screen. So my name's Anna. I'm the CEO of London Arts and Health. And I've been involved in the festival for a few years now. And it's really, really exciting to be here and just have a bit of a kind of sharing this morning. I know it's Monday, but hopefully this is useful and interesting for everybody. Take a second to introduce yourselves in the chat. We have got the captions turned on, and we're also just recording this session so that we can share this back with the sector. So if you've missed this or you need to drop out, like, don't worry, we'll pop this up as a story on the website. So yeah, welcome to Creativity and Wellbeing Week 2025. Drashti, if I can have the next slide. And the theme this year. So sometimes our theme is just Creativity and Wellbeing Week, and sometimes we have a bit of a theme to try and spark kind of interest and curiosity. And those have been really wide ranging over the years. So we've looked at themes, for example, of creativity and health crisis. We've also looked at themes around particularly like planetary health, environment, mental health, kind of green creative health, green social prescribing. But this year we're really curious about listening and really finding out what's happening across the sector. And that's really going to look like the team doing a lot of trips across the country on many trains to try and visit as many kind of activities as possible. So if you are running something, please let us know. Invite us down. If we can come and cover your event and see your work, we'd absolutely be delighted to. But we've kind of set this theme a little bit this year of new horizons in creative health. So it feels at the moment like the sector is at a bit of a tipping point. There's loads of interesting things happening. There's more mobilization around creative health in kind of policy, and also just developments in practice with things like the quality framework taking place, and people really kind of embracing creative health in health making. So we're just really curious about what is out there, what's happening, how can we take stock of the sector and really kind of learn from all of you. So we just really want to hear about your events and then invite us down. Next slide, please. Thanks, Drashti. So just a bit of a snapshot about Creativity and Wellbeing Week. So this is looking at data from last year, and we have lots of kind of reports and evaluations over the year, and I will share some links. We'll put some links in the email back to you all. So don't worry if you feel like the chat's moving quite quickly and you've missed anything. But we feel like the festival is becoming more diverse and more representative. So last year we had around 42% of our attendees reporting that they had a non-white background. So the festival is becoming more representative of the sector, which is something we really are very passionate about. We had around 300 events. So our average was around 250. So we had around 50 additional events last year, which means that the festival is reaching further across England, which is really, really exciting. And we had over 100,000 mentions of the hashtag Creativity and Wellbeing Week, and around 12,000 visits, unique visits to the website, which is fab. We also curated some events. So each year, ourselves and the Culture, Health and Wellbeing Alliance will try and pull together some headline events which have kind of attendees, again, quite often online, but all over the country. We asked our attendees as well, how did the festival make them feel? And around half of the attendees felt that the festival positively affected their mental health. So it's a really good point in the year to kind of catalyse people's passion for creative health, but also there's a kind of instantaneous effect from taking part in the festival, which is brilliant. And the other thing we found out last year is that quite a lot of our festival attendees were new. So they hadn't like been to the festival before, they hadn't like experienced an event in the festival. So that kind of mobilization, shining the spotlight on the sector is a really, really good moment to draw new people into your practice, into your events, to find out about your organizations. And we will be collaborating again with Creative Lives this year, who often produce on-air radio shows, exploring some of the themes of Creativity and Wellbeing Week with the BBC network. We'll be working with the National Centre for Creative Health and Arts Council England, who are our funders. So if you've got something interesting, submit a story, tell us about it. We've got lots of mechanisms to kind of spread the word about your event and your organisations. Next slide, please, Drashti. So we've got a few curated highlights for 2025. As I said, not too many, because actually what we're really interested in is hearing from you, the sector, and getting out there and finding all about your events. But there will be a few bits that will mainly be online, so everyone can attend them for free. So the Metro Mayors Network, so this is the devolved mayors, is around 13, I think now, including places like London, Manchester, Birmingham. They have joined together to create a creative health network. They have gathered lots of data from the city regions that they've been kind of working in. And there's going to be a kind of introduction to that network and some understanding around what they're trying to achieve in creative health. We'll also have some updates from the National Centre for Creative Health. So they've been running their Creative Health Associate Programme, which has been highly effective, kind of really at that kind of NHS systems level. So we'll be hearing a bit more about maybe some of the learnings from that programme and what's next. There's going to be events in Manchester. There might even be events in Bradford City of Culture if you're around Bradford. They have a brilliant creative health kind of programme as part of the City of Culture. We're going to be introducing a programme that we've been running at LAR called Action on Representation in Creative Health. And all good creative health things have an acronym. So it's called ARCH. And these are senior leaders in the workforce who are diverse, intersectional. So they're going to be telling you a bit more about that programme and what they're kind of looking to achieve. And then in London, we have an event on the Friday in person at St George's Health and Wellbeing Hub, which is a brand new systems building in Havering in North East London. We'll be launching an art strategy. So we'll have a bit of an opportunity in London to come together, but there's loads and loads of events happening all across England, and you are going to hear from some amazing speakers next who can kind of fill in some detail around what they've done in the past. So I'm going to hand back over to Kayla and Drashti, who are going to introduce our next speakers, and there's lots of time and chance to have Q&A at the end if you've got any questions. So thanks, Drashti.
Thank you so much, Anna. So now we're going to invite our guest speakers. Our speakers have been involved with Creativity and Wellbeing Week over the years, and they have participated by hosting events, hosting the Creativity and Wellbeing Week within their council as well, and various other engagements. So first up, we have Julie Tolhurst, who has worked in public health for over 30 years and now works with Barnsley Council to ensure that there are wider determinants of health incorporated in the strategy, policy, and partnership plans to tackle health inequalities. One of her key passions is also the difference that creativity and arts can make in the health and well-being of the most deprived communities. Julie has hosted Creativity and Wellbeing Week in Barnsley before as well, and today she's also going to share about her plans for the year. Over to you, Julie. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Lovely to see you all. Yes, as you say, my name's Julie Tolhurst. I'm Public Health Principal working in Barnsley Council. And as part of my role, looking at wider determinants of health has been around culture and creativity. So just to tell you a little bit about what we've done in the past. So in Barnsley, we've been supporting the Creativity and Wellbeing Week for around 4 years now. And our Creative Health Partnership, which is made up of local authority representatives, NHS representatives, adult social care, Creativity and Health and Wellbeing Alliance, and people with lived experience. We've always valued the opportunity to build this week into our comms to be able to drive forward our strategic vision. And our strategic vision is together we can help more people in Barnsley to live fuller, healthier lives through creativity. So the week's always been seen as a fantastic opportunity from our partners' perspective, and we describe it as a springboard for engaging wider stakeholders and to include people with lived experience as well, to be able to continue to build our local creative health capacity and also our offer to communities, working with communities at grassroots level. So on to the next slide, please. Thank you. So this year we've co-produced an event which we're going to be holding on the 19th of May, with the purpose of inspiring new ways of connecting arts, creativity, health and care for growing a thriving creative health movement in Barnsley. So this very much links to the New Horizons theme, but we're using nature to inspire discussion around ways of growing our creative health movement. So we want to attract people who are curious or passionate about promoting, implementing or funding creative health initiatives in Barnsley. So this is local invite only, just to make that clear, but we're obviously very keen to share with a wider audience nationally about how this evaluates and then to pick up learning from other areas as well. So it will be of particular interest to our local decision makers, policy influencers, health and care professionals, cultural, creative and arts practitioners, and also academics and researchers. So at the start of our session, our library staff actually are going to be offering block printing activity for people that are at the library, but also for our participants coming along to the session. And that's around using items from nature, leaves and flowers and so on. So hopefully that will get people into a creative way of thinking before they come and attend our session. So you'll see on the right our draft programme. We're still finalising the detail, but the first part of the session is really about exploring the ingredients and the factors that have helped to date. And we're going to use some of that to help to feed into our partnership programme, to look at how we can focus on nurturing work in the future as the network builds. And then in the second part of the session, we're going to be looking to understand what limits the growth of creative health in Barnsley. So looking at some of those barriers and how we can overcome some of those, looking at some practical examples. So the next slide, please. Thank you. And this is an example of the programme that we're going to be sending out to participants. We still need to finalise it. But it's nice and colourful. It's got that theme around nature, and we're going to be doing some evaluation afterwards. So some initial survey work to glean the comments from individuals at the session, and then doing some longer term follow-up as well. We have in Doncaster, they have a recently appointed creative connector who's going to come along and help to talk through some of the examples and share their learning. And then we're also going to be doing some wider comms about other creative health activity that is happening across the week in Barnsley, delivered by our partners. So for instance, at Barnsley Civic, they're doing some activities there for the public around the theme of creative hobbies. So that will be really interesting. We're going to sort of package that together in our comms based on the work that we're doing in Barnsley across the week. So very happy to discuss this further with anyone who's interested on the call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. It's really lovely to hear about all the work that you've been doing over in Barnsley. And if anybody has any questions for our guest speakers, please do submit your questions in the chat, or you can save them for the Q&A session that we'll have towards the end of today's session. So now I'd like to introduce Joanne Charlton. Joanna's worked in Heritage for over 18 years, coordinating community participatory programmes and outreach work across the northeast of England. As Platinum Programme Lead at North East Museums, she delivers enriching activities that encourage cultural participation for over 55s within the local community. She's also a regional champion for the Culture, Health and Wellbeing Alliance, fostering strategic partnerships and the sharing of information across communities of practice in the northeast. And she's just going to share with us today how she has engaged and participated in Creativity and Wellbeing Week in the past. So over to you, Joanne.
Thank you. So yes, I was just once when I was asked to do this, what I thought I would do is show you over the years some of the programs that I've been involved with, some of the projects for Creativity and Wellbeing Week. Um, do we have the slides with? Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Joanne, I'm just getting that up for
yeah.
you.
It's I've just shared a few pictures just to give me some prompts. Um, so so I work in galleries and museums, and when Creativity and Wellbeing Week comes along, I always try and link, obviously, the themes of the week with the galleries and museums and what's going on. In the past, my team, once this was years and years ago, we found out what was happening all over the region, and we collated this into a printed leaflet that then went out to organizations over the region. But I feel like things like that don't happen anymore, like getting things printed out and doing all that, and like time and money and things. So that was in the past. So what recently, I just thought I'd show some examples as to what I've done. So what I wanted to say is these are activities that the museum, my job at the museum, once these activities have run that week, then they're always there. I can pick up these activities and use them anytime. Like we still have these activities now in the museum. So it's not like a finite thing that just happens that once on that week. The ideas and going can be used going ahead. So I have a picture here just to give me some prompts. Um, so one year I developed a stained glass workshop. So we looked at the stained glass examples that we have at Northeast Museums, and I then took some plastic stained glass paints and templates around care homes. And so I did a talk about the stained glass in our venues, and then older people in care homes then did some crafting, creating some stained glass. And like I say, now we have that activity that was developed for the week, but we can use it anytime. And the older people were really interested in the stories behind the stained glass. And then after that, if they can, they've been invited to our venues to actually see it in person. I also put a picture of the popcorn just to remind me that one year, and this was must have been just after crazy lockdowns and things, because um well, I ran sessions where we talked about cinemas in the Northeast. In the past, we talked about participants' reminiscence about films and buildings and date nights and things like that. What buildings are still around, which ones have been pulled down, and from that, we created some film posters and the I got some microwavable popcorn and some retro cartons. And this is how I remember this was just after lockdown, because a lot of this got posted out to care home activities to use in their setting. And again, I still run this session now. The older people, participants probably haven't had that experience of going to the cinema or smelling and tasting the popcorn. Could I have the next slide, please, to remind me what the next thing I was going to talk about? Brill, thank you. Another example, just trying to help people come up with ideas and things. Because it's in May, I thought about how the weather's getting nicer. People want to be outside. So Northeast Museums, we have two Roman forts. So I developed an activity about the herb gardens that we have at the Roman forts. And in the session, I talk about how the Romans used to use the herbs And participants found that really interesting to look at how different what they used herbs for compared to what we do now. Apart from things like they used mint to sweeten the breath, which I always say that goes way back to Roman times because we like minty fresh breath now. And then at the end of the session, then I got some pestle and mortars like what the Romans would use, and they made some mint sauce. Um, and these events were done outside during Creativity and Wellbeing Week in the actual Roman forts. But again, the pictures I'm showing there are because we now have this activity, any of the groups that I work with can use these. Um, so I just wanted to share that as again something that the idea came about because of outdoors and trying to think of springtime and fresh new things, but it can be used whenever. So next slide, please. So I just wanted, very early stages of what I can do this year. I feel, I just wanted to share that these weeks come around. It's like there's Older People's Month, there's Dementia Action Week, and it's always like, oh, what can I do this year? So my advice is that I always look in at what's actually happening in the region itself. And at the minute, there's a big, because Northeast Museums has the Stevenson Steam Railway. We actually have a big celebration this year of 200 years of the modern railway. 1825 was the first passenger railway using steam trains. So my idea so far to link into those celebrations is to have some free trips at the Stevenson Steam Railway on a steam train, but then also do some workshops where we create some modern railway posters, and with the theme being New Horizons, it's like I say, it's still very early stages, but I'm thinking about the creativity being that participants can create some railway posters that are like futuristic and new horizons and linking it to the past and thinking about the last 200 years of trains. So like I say, it's still very early stages, but that's an idea I have, and I just wanted to share that. Look at what is happening throughout the year, throughout the springtime in your area. And that's everything from me. If anyone has any other questions or wants anything, please get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Thank you so much for sharing all the exciting things that you've been doing and the wonderful ideas that you have for this year as well. This is very helpful.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Claire Barry. She is the founder and leads Urban Curiosity, a creative health consultancy in Southeast London. Claire designs and delivers uplifting, inclusive curiosity retreats and offers coaching for change makers who need more energy, focus, and confidence in the work that they do. Last year, Claire had hosted a curiosity retreat at the Holborn Community Center, and we had the opportunity of engaging with her retreat, and it was absolutely a wonderful experience. We're so happy to have you here today, Claire, and to learn more about your plans for this year.
Hi everybody, it's such a lovely start to the week here in my corner of Southeast London in the Borough of Greenwich, to see so many faces, so much interest and enthusiasm for creative health and all the opportunities that this week gives us. So thanks to Jashti there for that introduction, I'm a writer and creative facilitator, and I help communities and change makers to flourish. And I'm really passionate about the power of curiosity and creativity as a catalyst for change and social impact. And what I would say to those of you that are on this call who maybe are freelancers or working at smaller organizations or community groups is that this is an excellent opportunity to expand your network, impact more people. We heard that lovely stat at the beginning from Anna, about 55% of participants and attendees last year were new. So, you know, let's attract more and more people this year to the work that you're doing in the areas that you work in. So for me, I'm working mostly with community groups, doing outreach, creative engagement, placemaking, and I'm also working with the change makers who are making that happen and helping them lead well and work well and not suffer and struggle with compassion fatigue and burnout, because that's something that so many of us doing this kind of work face from time to time, or more often than we might like to admit. So a lot of the people that I'm enjoying working with at the moment are based in the Royal Borough of Greenwich, which is where I happen to live, and also the London Borough of Camden. And last year it was really fantastic to welcome lots of Londoners, including Jashti, to Hope and Community Association's lovely, lovely building just off Lamb's Conduit Street in Bloomsbury, for a curiosity retreat, which really is about inviting people to slow down, unplug, take some time out of their working day, out of their lives, to really reflect on what are the true priorities that you have right now in your working life? Where do you want to go? What are the challenges that you're facing? What is curiosity? How can we invite more curiosity and wonder and serendipity into our everyday? How can that nourish our creativity, support mindfulness and well-being in general? And I think I'm a big believer in helping people take time out in order to be able to see things differently. So I really love the theme of the festival this year, New Horizons. A lot of my work, whether it's a curiosity retreat, whether it's a workshop, which I like to say is sort of a creativity session and digital mindfulness session on foot in a London neighbourhood, or whether it's one of my mindful art clubs, which is really, you know, bringing lots of lovely art supplies, having some loose ideas for people to think about exploring, and then we just have a lovely chat around the table. Those are three things that I like to do that help people reconnect to their creativity, expand their creative horizons, boost their mental health. So that's good for communities, it's good for creative facilitators, people, creative practitioners, let's say, and it's good for the leaders of the organisations that we work with and we work for and in. So I would say it's incredibly easy to get involved. The website that you put your listing on is super easy peasy, very, very simple. It won't take very long to create a listing. If you're struggling with how to articulate what your offer is, you can use an AI tool or do some journaling. That's definitely a good way to help just clarify what is the idea that you want to explore, how's it going to help people, where, when, and why you, who you are, and maybe a little bit of what your experience is. I would say on a professional level, it's been being involved for a couple of years with the festival is a great opportunity to expand your professional network, to reach more people that are in your area, you know, build more of your community, help more people through your work and through the work that your organisation does. I'm going to wrap up in a moment because I know time's whizzing by, but I'd say it's a great opportunity to showcase the work that you do, the specific activity that you're offering, but the broader work that you also offer throughout the year. As I say, it's a good way to expand your network. It's a good way to boost your professional confidence and maybe do something a little bit differently. Again, moving towards a new horizon professionally, if that's what you feel you need to do, just a little stretch. I would say, what other things to say? Yeah, it's really straightforward. Get involved, spread the word, support other people, and I'd love to connect with you all. So come and find me on LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm having a little website refresh, so that will be shiny new shortly. And thanks so much to Anna and Jashti and Kayla and everybody who's invited me to be involved today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire, for sharing. I really liked what you had to say about slowing down and unplugging to create those spaces to foster creativity. And it's something that we could all we'd all like to be able to do so much more. So your workshops sound like the perfect environment to do so. And thank you once again for sharing how much Creativity and Wellbeing Week has impacted the work you do, and how vital it is to get involved with the week. So obviously, Creativity and Wellbeing Week is all about fostering that connection and showcasing what all of the work that we do throughout the week. So we're just going to take you through some videos that show you a little bit more in depth of how to participate.
Thank you, Kayla. We're going to share two videos right now. The first video takes you through how you can submit an event onto the Creativity and Wellbeing Week website. And the second video takes you through how do you use the social media assets that we have created for the festival this year. If you're an event organizer, you can use some of the badges and some of the logos that we've created for the year. Um, these are longer videos, and we have prepared a playlist of the videos that we'll also share in the chat. Right now, we're just going to go through a couple of minutes of both the videos to give you an idea about how to get involved through submitting an event. Website. As you can see, this is the landing page of the website. It's at creativityandwellbeing.org.uk. That's right, we're at creativityandwellbeing.org.uk. Once you're onto the website, you will see that you can add events. You can also add your blog or a story onto the website. In case you're interested in adding a blog or a story, just write to us at info@londonartsandhealth.org.uk. Let's quickly look at how we can add an event listing onto the website. You will see a button on the top right corner which says Add Listing. Once you go on to that, you will see two options, which is either to list an organization or to list an event. We're going to look at listing an event for the website. You will be asked to sign in if you already have an account or register yourself. It's a quick process. Let's look at how we can register ourselves. You can add your email address and create a password for yourself. Once you have that ready, you can just sign up. After signing up, you will be taken onto this page that requires you to list all the details of your event. It's best to be ready with all the details before you start listing the event. The event listing requires you to add a title, a tagline, a description of the event, any images that you would like to add, contact information, location of the event, the date and the time of the event, and if it's a free event or if there is an entry fee. We have already created an Eventbrite of the event we want to list, so let's look at this as an example.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Creativity and Wellbeing Week website, where we are going to talk you through how to access and utilize event organizer assets. Throughout Creativity and Wellbeing Week, whether you are organising an event online or in person, we have a range of promotional materials that you can use to design social media campaigns that can help to promote participation and engagement across your events and throughout the week itself. To access these assets, you need to head to creativityandyourbeingoorg.uk/festival-assets. To save any of the assets shown below, all you have to do is right-click the link, go to Save Link As, and a window will pop up asking you where you'd like to save the asset on your computer. Alternatively, you can also click on the link, open up the asset, and repeat those same steps. So right-click, click Save Image As, and once again that window will pop up asking you where you'd like to save it. Here we have the Creativity and Wellbeing Week poster, which because of its dimensions and size makes it perfect for Instagram stories, but it can also be utilised across all social media platforms and websites. It holds key information about how to take part from the 19th to the 25th of May, as well as the website information and that all-important hashtag Creativity and Wellbeing Week, which we would love for you to share in the run-up towards the week and throughout the week itself. The next asset we have is that classic square social media graphic, which lends itself perfectly for Instagram posts, but also for usage across LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and X. This graphic could also lend itself nicely on Instagram within the carousel function as a nice introduction to any posts you have around the events you'll be hosting throughout Creativity and Wellbeing Week. In case
So these were the videos that explain how you can submit an event and use our assets. We will also take you through the Creativity and Wellbeing Week website where you can submit your stories. As you can see, this is the page where we have blogs and stories that are submitted by our members, by other organizations and practitioners in the creative health sector. We have stories by the Westminster Libraries that did a project with the community of Bangladeshi women in Bethnal Green and in Westminster. We have artist blogs by Jasmine Kalia, Millie, and other such artists who have been engaging with creative health through their art forms, which could be through visual art, movement, music therapy, and others. So we invite all our members and participants and audiences who have joined us today to submit the work that you do, your projects, any quotes that you might have from the participants sharing their experience of the project. And we would love to publish these as blogs onto the Creativity and Wellbeing Week website and spotlight the work that you do. We're also now going to open up the space for any questions that you would have either for our guest speakers or for us. We will also be sharing the recording of this event today and the assets that we've been using to all the people who've joined today. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or raise your hand and we can spotlight you.
I can see a raised hand somewhere.
I think it's me.
Oh, it's hi, Nancy. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. I just thought I'd mention we're probably looking at doing a few online conversations in that week. So if anybody's planning something where the audience could be wider than your audience, or you're sharing best practice, or let me know if you want me to set something up where we could do like a joint or a partnership thing. So I think in Scotland, we haven't had a specific program before, and I'm just looking at putting it out to members to see if people want to do things, talk to others who are in Scotland about activity they might want to do, and how to put it up on the website, etc. But as a choose, I'm probably looking at trying to do a small number of things across the week. Some of them will be online because that's the easiest way for us to reach our members as opposed to in person. So just I'm open to suggestions and ideas. I put my email in the chat, but just get in touch. And if we're doing anything, if there's a group chat or group messaging, I'm happy to share the program if you want to use that to sort of share with others as well. So that was all I wanted to say. And thank you for doing today.
Thanks, Nancy. That's really helpful. I'm sure there's stuff that can be done collaboratively, and we'll keep talking about that as well with you. There's a couple of questions in the chat. Anna, were you going to pick up on those? Do you want to do that?
Yes, I very cleverly was on mute. So there's a couple of questions around the dates. So no, it doesn't like strictly have to fit into that week. Obviously, it's great to kind of spotlight things, and if they're taking place in that week, there's a bit more kind of attention and kind of curation, I guess. But we always have lots of events kind of either side. And actually, I think there will be like an APPG event. So that's the APPG in Creative Health in Parliament, which will be online, I believe, which is the week after. So we will be kind of like spotlighting things in and around May. So if you've got an ongoing program or something that happens a bit before or a bit after, just add it to the events. It's fantastic to see it there and kind of bring attention. And there was another question around
about whether events need to be free.
Yes, about events being free. I mean, yeah, Victoria, do you have an opinion on this? I think if you are able to highlight something that you're already doing and it's free, you might attract in like some new kind of attendees. But likewise, everybody needs to pay the bills. If it's something that you're running and you normally would charge a fee for that's also that's okay. That's up to you as individual organizations and practitioners. Victoria,
yeah, I'd agree with that.
On that?
I'd agree with that. We used to have a rule years ago that all the events should be free, but I think it's just not practical for some organisations. So go with what you would normally do. But if there is an option to have it free for people, then I think that's a good idea. Because as you say, you might draw in some new people.
There's a few offers in the chat as well of people just sort of putting themselves out there, like things they might be doing or interested in collaborating with. So get in touch with people in the chat if that looks like something that's interesting to you.
Any other questions anybody wants to throw in? I'm going to scan for hands. No, that was such a thorough set of presentations that that's it. Lots of people were interested in collaborations. Can we invite someone from this call to a current class or event?
Yes, please do, Susan. I love the name of your organisation as well, Super Arts. I think that sounds awesome. Yes, you can email us and I'll put the generic email in the bottom. So if you've got something that you would like one of the team to attend, we can make that happen. So just drop us a line. So I will just put the email address in now.
Well, this is wonderful about all the collaborations. Wondering if there's something clever we can do to help coordinate that. I'm not quite sure what that would be at this moment, other than you getting in touch with each other on the chat, because we can't share a sort of bulk email address list with you. So you can send direct messages to each other if you want to do that, obviously. And we can have a think about that as well, perhaps in the background, whether there's some sort of forum we can put together.
A quick forum.
Where are you based, Susan, from Super Arts? Do you mind just letting us know?
Yeah, hi. I'm based at the Elephant and Castle in South London. So
brilliant.
That's where I normally do my classes.
Amazing.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Anna, too.
This is great, and it's really nice to see that there's people here from Norfolk, from Scotland, from the Northeast, from all sorts of parts of the country. Lots of people from the Southeast. My apologies for missing entire regions that you probably work in. Quite a lot of London-based work popping up in the chat. Any other questions while we're all here? You can definitely get in touch with us after this if something pops into your mind and you want to figure out a bit more. Oh, we didn't talk about blogs. I wonder if it's worth just talking briefly about that, or did we and I missed it?
We did talk about that very briefly.
Okay, that's fine. Ignore me.
Oh, a nice invitation from Manchester as well. Fantastic.
Tori, I think Julie McCarthy was planning to do something in Manchester as well, so it may be worth linking up with her if you're not already connected. Let us know if we can help with that.
Fantastic. I wonder if it's worth the last, we've got about 10 minutes left, an offer to the group. We could open some breakout rooms. So that's useful to kind of just have a quick chat and a bit of a kind of connect and a network with other people. You could join a breakout room, or you could stay here with us if you've got another question, or we will gift you back 10 minutes of your day. How does that sound, team? Yeah. Let me set up some breakout rooms. Victoria, if you can just hold the room for a second, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's much that I need to do, but yes, I'm happy to. I feel like I ought to have some hold music, really, but sadly, I haven't set that up. Although did somebody volunteer to write a song for the week? Yes, Todd. I think this is where we need the song for Creativity and Wellbeing Week. Nancy, did you want to come in again, or is that a legacy?
It was just very quickly. I'm down in London tomorrow night at an event, so it's just if anybody on the call is there, then this is what I look like. Come and say hello because I won't know many people in the room. But it's to do with the Frontier Economics report for the value of culture. But it's not often I'm down, but I'm down tomorrow night.
Nancy, I'm going to see you there then because I'm going to that event as well.
Well, that all I thought was just while I can see what people look like, if anybody sees a woman with red hair and glasses, it's me. Come and say hello. That's all.
There might be more than one woman with red hair and glasses. I'm just taking a punt, but
I look like this.
Wear a big sign with Arts, Culture, Health and Wellbeing Scotland on you. Sandwich board.
Fantastic. Oh, hi, Laura Bailey. Okay, I'm going to open some breakout rooms if people want to have a quick kind of connect with colleagues for like 5 minutes, or we will just stay here in the main room if there's any other questions, or you get 10 minutes of your day back. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending. I will open the rooms as an offer. Thanks, Julie. Appreciate it.
Thanks to our speakers, particularly.
Yeah, thank you so much. Amazing organisation.
Brilliant organising.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael.
If anybody who's staying in this room wants to ask a question, just jump in. Tori, you're going.
A few people in breakout rooms just having a chat.
Great. I think, Esther, did you want to ask a question?
Oh, Esther, I can move you to a different breakout room where there are people.
Were you on your own? I hate it when that happens.
Thank you.
Sorry. Mary. Hello, Laura.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, good. We've got one unassigned participant. Mary.
Do that. Oh, you're doing it.
Yeah. Mary, I'm not sure. Did you just arrive? Hi, Mary. Did you just arrive this second?